Okay, folks, listen. This is very difficult information to make understandable to you guys, all right? It's very hard. So please be patient. Donald John Trump is the 45th president, right? But he's actually the 44th person to become president. Because there was a president named Grover Cleveland who served two non-consecutive terms. Okay, and that's why he's only counted once. And that's why Trump is the 44th person to become president, but he's the 45th person to take office. Okay. And that 44-45 number is very important because I'm going to connect it to both my predictions. Okay. I told you my first prediction is on June 11th, 6/11, which is the upside down 9/11. And the second 9/11 is going to happen in Seattle, and it's going to involve the Space Needle and Elvis somehow. And then Donald Trump gets a head wound and he survives on August 4th, Obama's birthday, most likely in Ohio. Okay, I'm 100% about the date, August 4th. But about the place, Ohio, I'm 99%. Anyway, so I'm going to connect the 44 and 45 to this, to these events. So back in 1977, there was a horse called Seattle Slew. And slew means to kill, all right, to destroy, whatever. And what is the chances of a horse named Seattle Slew back in 1977 winning the Triple Crown? Because I told you the Elvis, Trump, and Barack Obama are the unholy trinity. Okay, that's why they're looking for the Triple Crown. And on June 11th, and remember, June 11th is the day I'm telling you that Elvis appears, and there's after a catastrophic event in Seattle. So what is the chances? And I didn't know this information when I made my predictions. Okay, so Seattle Slew wins the Triple Crown on June 11th, 1977. Seattle Slew, do you get it? To destroy Seattle. And in that same year, in 1977, Elvis Presley died just, a little over 2 months after the Seattle Slew wins the Triple Crown. I mean, first of all, just that in itself is an amazing coincidence that Elvis happened to die that same year that Seattle Slew wins the Triple Crown. And I'm telling you, Elvis is going to appear in Seattle after a catastrophic event on June 11th. And that's the same time that Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown, June 11th. So from the year and date that Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown to next year on June 11th, it's going to be 45 years. And 45 is the Trump number. Do you understand? So 45 years is this coming June 11th. From the day Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown till next year, 6/11. And remember, that's the same year that Elvis died back in 1977 when Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown. And from Elvis's death date, the same year that Seattle Slew won the Triple Crown, to June 11th of next year is 16,370 days. And anytime you see the 370, that's the ELO number. I mean, that's the ELO, because when you turn the 37 upside down, it becomes EL, which means God. And Elvis died in Tennessee, which is the 16th state. So you have the ELO 16 right there. But forget that. So remember, Seattle Slew was 45 years to next year, June 11th. And from Elvis's death date, it's 44 years. So there's your 45-44 numbers, which connect to Trump. Like I said, I'm connecting it to Donald Trump, who's the 44th and 45th president. And remember, Obama would be the 43rd and the 44th president. Okay? If Trump is the 44th and the 45th. But this is about Trump, 44 and 45. Because when Trump gets his head wound in Ohio on August 4th, that's Obama's birthday, 8/4. Okay? That's why it's all connected to each other. And remember, Trump is the 45th president, and he's also the 44th person, like I said. And the word kill equals 44. Okay? Because I told you, Trump's going to get his head wound, but he's going to survive. So they're going to try to kill him. And you know how important I told you the Space Needle is in Seattle, because I told you it's going to be destroyed also when that catastrophic event happens in Seattle, which involves Elvis. And Elvis was known as the king, and Seattle's in King County. Space equals 44, needle equals 45, you see? And Elvis was the first person that had anything to do with the Seattle Space Needle. He made a movie called It Happened at the World's Fair as soon as the Space Needle opened. Okay? He was the first famous person that had anything to do with the Seattle Space Needle. And check this out. From Trump's birthday, the day he's born, if you go forward 4,545 days, which is the 4545, it lands on JFK's death date, but not the year, just the date. He died in 63, but on November 22nd is the day it happened. And look, it lands on Trump's 4545. And that's counting that day. If you don't count that day, watch. It becomes the 4544 number. Because I told you Trump is the 44th and the 45th president. See, it says not including that day, but up to that day. Do you get it? So it would be 4545 or 4544. All right? Do you understand? This is not a coincidence. Oh, and here's something interesting. And from JFK's birthday, remember I just showed you the other one where it was to his death date. But from JFK's birthday, not the year, just the date, to Trump's actual birth date and year, it's 4400. Look at that. It's the 44 with the double O, the crowns. But the 44 is the kill number. And notice that between 529 and 614 is 17 days. And why is 17 important? It just so happens that Ohio is the 17th state. And I told you Trump's going to most likely get his head wound in Ohio. Okay, so between JFK's birthday and Trump's birthday is 17 days. Can you believe that? And check this out. Between Trump's actual birth date and year to the actual day that he died, plus the actual year that JFK died, is 17 years. I mean, can you believe this? Look at that. And look, you got the 370 number, the ELO number. If you turned everything upside down, it'd be 9 ELO. And, you know, the 5-8 has significance too, but I'm not going to get into that. All I'm showing you here is that it's 17 years. Again, with the 17 number. Oh, and you know what? Let me just show you something about the 370, which I told you is ELO. So remember, I told you that the number 370, if you turned it upside down, everything, it would be ELO, which means EL means God with a crown. And look at this crazy coincidence. So if you were to go forward 370 days, remember that's the ELO number. L with the O means crown. From August 4th, the day I'm telling you Trump gets his head wound, but next year we're talking about, to August 8th, and I told you August 8th, 4 days after he gets his head wound, he's probably going to, you know, somehow come back to life 4 days later, like Lazarus. Okay, like the phoenix, he's going to rise. And look, it's the ELO number to August 8th. You get what I'm trying to say? Forget about the year. It's not about the year. It's the number 370 that I'm showing from August 4th to August 8th. So that's the ELO number. And remember I told you that the name Elvis equals 67? And look, June 7th, and that's the day my mom died too, remember? And she died at the age of 84. Look, 6-7. The ELO number is June 11th. You see that? 370 days forward lands on 6-11. So that's how Elvis connects to the ELO. Because his actual birth date didn't match anything. And remember, I was telling you that kill equals 44, right? The second number is 17. You see that? And 17 is that number that I was telling you about earlier. Oh, and I forgot to mention that JFK was born in 17, the year 17. And I told you from May 29th to Trump's birthday, 6/14 is 17 days. And I told you Trump is going to get his head wound in Ohio, which is the 17th state. And from Trump's actual birth date to the day this guy got shot and killed was 17 years. Okay, everything's about the 17 and the 44, 45, you know what I mean? And remember, we're talking about the 44 and 45. Zip code 44045 is in Grand River, Ohio. Even those numbers are in Ohio. Can you believe this? And remember, I told you kill equals 4417. 4417 is in Ohio, Cuyahoga County. There's even a Trump, Ohio area. And look at the zip code, 44705. And right now, Trump is 75 years old. Look at that. The 44 kill number and 75. And look at the area code for Trump, Ohio, 33. It's got the 33 number, 330. Can you believe? Man, just look at all this crazy stuff. And remember, Elvis died in Tennessee, which is the 16th state. And if Trump dies in Ohio, not dies, but gets his head wounded in Ohio, that would be the 17th state. 16 plus 17 makes 33. And you ever heard the expression, mind your P's and Q's? You know, like be on your best behavior. P and Q. P is the 16th letter. Q is the 17th letter. And you know how important Q is to the Trump movement. Q is the 17th letter. Get it? And Elvis died in the 16th state. And P is the 16th letter. So that means that you would have to separate the Q from the anon. Get it? Now watch this. So Q is 17. What does anon equal? So anon equals almost the exact same as kill. Kill was 44, 17, 61. So it's perfect in the front. Then over here it was 64, 28 right here, I think. Because it was 92. So the only number that's different is right here. But it has the kill number. So anon equals kill. You see that? So 17 kill, get it? And remember, I told you Washington is the 42nd state, right? And it just so happens Elvis is 42 years old when he died. And like I said, Trump is the 45th president. Elvis died at 42. Washington's the 42nd state. Even 45420 is zip code is in Ohio. So is 44420. A lot of 90% of the 44 and 45 zip codes are in Ohio. Not all of them, but most of them. And even the 440 area code, not zip code, area code is in Ohio. But 450 is not. It's in Canada or something. So remember, I'm telling you that Trump is the 44th and 45th president, and I've shown you a bunch of connections with him and JFK. I wonder if there's a connection to JFK in the 44. So JFK was the 35th president, okay? But you know how many elections there have been? Look how many elections. He was the 44th presidential election when he became president. So there's your 44 kill number again. And he was killed. You understand? So he's the 44th elected president. We're talking about elections, folks, not actual presidents, just elections. And Trump, when he won, it was the 58th quadrennial presidential election, whatever the hell that means. But that's what that means when I tell you that JFK was the 44th. So I guess that would make Biden the 59th. And remember, I told you the only president that Elvis met with was Dick Nixon, Tricky Dicky. And he was the 37th actual president. And the 37 is the EL number. So that's the only president he met with, the EL. You see that? And the 33rd president was Harry S. Truman. I told you the S is the 19th letter, is the crown number. The 33rd president was Truman. It's almost got the letters Trump in it. The man, the Trump man. You know, the Truman Show. He was the 33rd president, and he was president when Donald Trump was born in 1946. Truman was president. So the 33rd president was during Trump's birth. And here's something really interesting that will not happen with any other president. All right? Listen. So the 32nd president was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And Elvis was born during his presidential, time. And Roosevelt, he was serving 4 terms, but he died in his 4th term. And then that's when Truman took over. He was actually 4-term president, and then he died during his 4th term. Anyway, I took out the Delano and just put Franklin Roosevelt. Look what it equals. Watch this. First of all, 216 is August 4th, the 216th day of the year, but that's not why I'm putting this up here. So if you did Franklin Roosevelt, remember Elvis was born during this time. Look at these numbers, 216, 81, 243, 99. Elvis Aaron Presley equals the exact same thing as Franklin Roosevelt, the guy who was president during Elvis's birth. I mean, come on, man. That's not even possible, can it? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. But I took out his middle name, you know what I mean? I just thought that was interesting. Anyway, this is no big deal. I just thought that was funny. Oh, and speaking of the 33, remember the 33rd president was during Trump's presidency. And Elvis's dad was born in 1916. And the 33rd quadrennial presidential election, okay, not the president, but the 33rd presidential election, was in when Vernon Presley was born in 1916. And it was Woodrow Wilson, the Wilson. And I'm telling you that Trump's going to get his head wound in Ohio. And look, it says which states have produced the most U.S. presidents. They're saying Virginia, but down here it says Ohio also claims 8 presidents with deep roots. And then somewhere else it says, so Lincoln was the first president to be assassinated, and he was the 16th president. And I told you the 16 is, Elvis is connected to the 16 a lot, because Tennessee is the 16th state where Elvis died. But look, the first president to die in office, not by assassination, just to died on 4-4, the kill number. He was the 9th president, William Henry Harrison. And he was born in Virginia. But when he became president, he was in Ohio, I believe. And look, even his tomb, for some reason, is in Ohio. The first president that died in office, you see that? He was the 9th president, And he died on 4/4, the kill number, the 44. And I told you Trump's going to eat it in Ohio. Okay? But he's going to survive his wound. So there's been 4 presidents that have been assassinated. You see that? It's the 4 number, and then Trump's going to make the 5. The 4-5. Get it? So Abraham Lincoln was the first one. James Garfield was the second one. William McKinley the third one. And John F. Kennedy the fourth one. So John F. Kennedy is not from Ohio. Abraham Lincoln is not from Ohio. Let's see where James Garfield and William McKinley's from. So William McKinley, the 25th president who was assassinated, is from Ohio. You see that? James Garfield, the 20th president, was from Ohio. You see that? Ohio and death. 2 out of the 4 presidents that have been assassinated are from Ohio. And then Trump's going to get his head wound in Ohio, like I told you. Check this out. Here's another weird coincidence. Remember, I'm telling you, Trump's going to get it on 8/4. Look at this. 8 presidents have died in office, and 4 of those were from Ohio. So there's your 8/4 number. And remember, Garfield and McKinley were assassinated, and the other 2 just died while they were in office. Harding and Harrison. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. Anyway, folks, the whole point of this video was just to tell you that Trump is the 44th and 45th president. And from Elvis's death date on August 16, 1977, it's between the 44th and 45th year that's coming up that these 2 events will happen. And also from Seattle Slew winning the Triple Crown, it's going to be it's 44 years now, but it'll be 45th year on 6/11, because that's when it happened, when he won the Triple Crown. Seattle Slew was on 6/11. Okay? And Elvis died that same year, a couple months later. Anyway, folks, like I said, if you can't understand this video, then watch it again. All right? Or ask me a question in the comments section, and I'll explain it. I have so much more. It's just that I can only, put in so much, in each video. You're just going to forget everything anyway. All right, folks. End of video.